Hi children, how are you? So today we will start our English second unit, that is Appu and his loving family. Children, as we all have our beautiful and loving family, we love our family members very much. Okay, so here we are going to read about a boy. His name is Appu. So he also staying with his family, with mother, sister and father. This boy's nature is, children, that if he saw or think anything, he will be going deep in those thoughts. Maybe because of his nature or what. If suppose he will see Mahabharata or anything, he will think about those things only. He will directly, if his mother will narrate the story, he will go practically in those stories and he will think himself. And after some time, when if anyone will call him, then he will realize that he will come to, he is in his family. So let's start reading about his family, children. This is a story of Appu, a boy born in a poor but loving family in a village in Bengal. When his father leaves for the city to pursue his dreams of becoming a playwright, Appu's mother struggles to take care of him, his sister Durga and his elderly aunt. This is an extract from the novel Patha Panchali written by Bibhuti Bhushan Bandopadhyay. It tells us how Appu spent his summer afternoons. Children, in summer holidays, we all go to our villages, right? You love to spend your summer holidays in your grandparents' home. Same in that manner, Appu also spends his summer days, but not with his grandparents, with his mother and with his sister and one elderly aunt. Some distance from Appu's house stood a huge peepal tree. Do you know, children, peepal tree? That tree will be very huge and big. You could only see its top if you looked through the window along the corridor or from the raised terrace in front of the house. Appu would find himself gazing. Gazing means looking at one place or one thing continuously without blinking the eyes. And it from time to time, and whenever he did so, he was reminded of a distant land far, far away. From his corridor, children, he used to see a peepal tree. But again, as I told you, he was daydreamer or maybe a big thinker. He used to gazing at the peepal tree and he used to go far, far in the forest. He never quite knew exactly what place it was, somewhere where the princess of his mother's fairy tales lived. Children, your mother and your grannies, they all will tell you stories, right? So same like here, Appu's mother also used to tell him stories, but those stories he used to think as practically. A certain joy and wonder would excite his childish mind, and yet at the very moment when his imagination had flown him away into his faraway land, he began to miss his mother a lot. It was so strange, as though he would suddenly recall that land to which he was going was a place without his mother, and right away he would long to remain by her side. It had happened so many times. A kite would be flying high in the skies, growing smaller and smaller and smaller, still it flew over the tall palm in Nilu's garden. Nilu's garden means neighbor's garden. Before disappearing into the sky, as soon as the speck of the flying kite disappeared, Appu would bring his gaze back. His gaze back means his thinking back, his looks back to the earth, and then find himself running towards the kitchen veranda and in one bound holding his mother in a tight embrace. Means, children, when he used to think about the stories or when his mother used to tell him any stories, he used to go far in the stories in practical manner. Then after some time, he used to come back thinking, stop thinking. He used to find himself near his mother in the kitchen veranda. Just look at the boy. See, children, here I will show you a picture. He is Appu and his mother. They are sitting in a kitchen. Okay. Just look at the boy, Sarbojaya would exclaim. Let go of me. Can't you see I am cooking and my hands are messy? Let go of me, my darling. See, I am frying these prawns just for you. You love them, don't you? Don't be naughty, go away. Children, do you love prawns? See here in this story, Appu's mother is also frying prawns for him. But as he is very big thinker and his imaginations will go beyond the limits, he is not allowing his mother to cook and do her work. Some afternoons after their meal, his mother lies down on the ground, spreading out one end of her sari and reads in a sing-song voice verses from the Mahabharata. Children, do you know the epic Mahabharata or Ramayana? I hope you all know, children. So, afternoon times when Appu and his mother used to get leisure time, she used to narrate the verses of Mahabharata. So, even this Mahabharata also, when he was listening, he used to recall the verses, okay? A white-breasted kite's shrill cry heard from the top of the coconut tree near their house. Appu, sitting beside his mother by the open window, practices writing his alphabets while listening with all his heart and soul to her recitation. Recitation means to repeat what you are learning, what you are reading from the Mahabharata. He gets completely lost in the world of the epic, especially when they come to the battle of Kurukshetra. As we all know, children, the 18 days battle of Mahabharata, it was held in the, it occurred in the Kurukshetra. So when his mother, Appu's mother, used to tell him Mahabharata's verses, he used to go practically in those, in that battle place, and he used to feel that because of his imaginations. The day draws to a close. His mother is up and about to finish her household chores. Appu comes out to the veranda and gazes at the distant people. People means people tree, children. As already from his corridor, he used to gaze at the people tree and he used to go in his imaginations. There he seems to be Karna. Do you know, children, Karna? Karna was the sixth brother of Pandavas, but we don't know him. Okay, but later, and he was a very good skillful archer, and he was very good at donations and all. He is still struggling to lift up with both his hands his sunken chariot while trapped in the mud. Actually, children, what happened during the Mahabharata fight? Karna's chariot was stuck in the mud very brutally, okay. So he was unable to lift that chariot wheels. So because of that only he came to an end of his life. So Appu was practically thinking about the Karna's life and what happened at the time with him. The day draws to a close. Okay. On other days, as he listened to the Mahabharata, Appu felt that there was too little about the war in the poem. He found a way to make up for this and to experiences for himself the business of war. He was very much liking, when his mother was narrating the Mahabharata verses, he was very much liking about the Mahabharata verses, and he was imagining the Pandavas, the Kauravas and the Karna's war and all. And then Drona released 10 arrows at one go, but Arjuna released 200. And then what a mighty battle it was, such a battle. The air turned dark with arrows, and then Arjuna, he leapt off his chariot, armed with his shield and sword. And then a terrible battle began. Came Duryodhana, came Bhima. The sky turned black with arrows and nothing could be seen. Children, Pandavas and Kauravas, when they were fighting, even their we can say scholar, their Acharya, Guru Dronacharya, and even Bhishma Pitama, they also joined with the Kauravas only. Okay, and these Pandavas, they were coming one by one into the battlefield and they were killing each other. From one side, if they are throwing or sending 100 arrows, so from the other side, thousands or 10,000 arrows were coming. So like that, these all Appu was imagining, children, okay. When his mother was telling him the verses of Mahabharata, Appu went in the battlefield itself through his imagination, not in reality. It was the end of April, a hot summer's day, by the edge of the jungle where the ruins of their uncle Neel Muni Rai's house lie. Guru Drona in trouble, Arjuna's chariot, flying its Hanuman banner, it almost upon him. A mere blink of an eye stands between him and Arjuna's Gandiva bow, which is about to be let loose or him. He dreaded that super weapon, the Brahmastra. Children, during those days, they, Pandavas or Kauravas or Bhishma Pitama or Dronacharya, they used to do a big long tapasya. Because of the tapasya and all, they used to get all the things, arrows and all. So those arrows were also very energetic and powerful, children, because by taking their name itself, by taking their God's name itself, the arrows used to be present. Okay, will be released any moment now. From the Kuru sides, cries of hopelessness and lament rise. What are you up to, Appu? An amused voice from the other side of the jungle cut through the silent afternoon. Actually, this all thing, when he was realizing, he was imagining, a sound came in the forest, an amused voice. Okay, Appu found his sister standing and watching him from the jungle of bushes with their zigzagging branches. She was giggling at his antics. Okay, she was giggling means she was laughing inside her because he was talking to himself and he was feeling that he is observing all those battle, whatever going in the Kurukshetra. So she was from far away, she was observing her brother, that what he is doing, and like that she was started laughing. When their eyes met, she said, "You madcap, whatever are you muttering away all by yourself? And why are you flinging about your arms and walking this way and that?" So she started laughing and she was telling his brother that why simply you are muttering by yourself and what are you thinking, and you are talking to yourself only. She ran up to him to plant an affectionate kiss on his soft cheeks. "You are really mad. Where were you? What were you doing?" she demanded to know. A shy Appu tried to ward off her questions. "Come on, was I really muttering?" No. So when she was laughing, he was asking his sister that really I was muttering. So when he will go to his imagination, children, even he too don't know that he is thinking all these things. And who are surrounded by him, they will feel different that what he is doing. Sarah. When Durga had finally stopped laughing at him, she said, "Now come with me." And holding him by the hand, she led him into the woods. Woods means forest, children. Only stopping when they had come to a particular stop. Okay, in the forest, after coming to a particular stop, Durga and Appu stopped there. Do you see how many nonas? Actually, nonas means what, children? Do you know custard apple? Nonas also a fruit. It's appear like a same custard apple. Do you see how many nonas have ripened on that tree? She was pointing to the longish fruits that looked like custard apples. How do you think we can get them down? See, children, I will show you the tree. See. He is Appu, she is Durga, and this is the nona's tree. See, look at the fruits, children. Same, it will be like a custard apple. Okay. Oh, so many of them, Didi. Can't we get hold of a split cane to bring them down? I'm sure it will do the job. You wait here for me and I will get it, said Appu, darting off. But after he came back with the hooked pole, though they tried their hardest, they couldn't bring down more than 5 nonas. It was an unusually tall tree and try as she might, Durga could not get the hooked end to touch the topmost branch which had the best fruits. Children, these both siblings, brother and sister, after seeing the Nona's tree, they wanted to pluck the fruits. But as they were very small, they could not get the more fruits. Just 5 ripened fruits they could get. Okay, so they were thinking how to get those. And even they were very sure that the hook from which they were plucking the fruits, it was not helping to get the topmost fruit to pluck it down. Okay. But after he came back with the hooked pole, okay, hooked pole means, see children, it will be useful to pluck the fruits, okay. Let's go back. But after he came back with the hooked pole, though they tried their hardest, they could not bring down more than 5 Nonas, okay. Let's go back home today with whatever we have got. We will bring Ma. Ma means their mother. We will bring Ma along with us on our way to the bathing ghat. Do you know children, in villages there will be bathing ghats also, and not in villages. I think you might have seen children in the temples, in big temples, and in big temples also children, there will be sacred bathing ghats, okay. So people will go there and take the holy bath also there, okay. So like the same in village also there will be bathing ghats, okay. It was an unusually tall tree, okay. Let's go back and